What is it like to prefer being single for life rather than settling for marriage? Her name is Minako, and she is 50 years old, yet still unmarried. Her daily life consists of: before dawn, she delivers milk to the town's residents, then works as a cashier at a supermarket during the day, and spends her evenings reading at home. In her free time, she visits an aunt's house. This life might sound dull, yet she has maintained it for over 20 years. In reality, she could have married a rather decent man, but she chose to close her heart to love, all for one person. That person is her high school classmate, Kaito. Every day, Minako goes to his house, placing milk in the milk box before he wakes up. Beyond this, they share no other interaction. Even if they encounter each other on the street, they pretend not to see each other. Kaito has been married for 26 years. In recent years, his wife, Eiko, unfortunately contracted a serious illness, leaving her bedridden. Every day, Kaito either goes to work or returns home to care for his wife, a routine he maintains without complaint. One day, Kaito discovered an unattended boy outside the supermarket. As an employee of the Children's Welfare Institution, he approached to inquire about the situation. However, the boy ran away. He had no choice but to call the welfare institution. It was then that he saw Minako inside the supermarket. Their gazes met for a moment, but in less than 2 seconds, Minako averted her eyes. After work, Minako arrived at a bookstore. Here, memories of the past resurfaced. It turns out that when they were 17, both Minako and Kaito shared a love for literature. They often had their dates here. This romance could have blossomed smoothly, but it was unexpectedly cut short by an accident. It was a car accident, and 2 people perished. Those 2 individuals had been secretly dating before the accident occurred. Who were those 2 people? They were Kaito's father and Minako's mother. The car accident claimed both their lives and, in doing so, exposed their scandalous affair. As the children involved, Minako and Kaito both felt intense guilt and shame. So, they tacitly chose to go their separate ways. From then on, Minako never again met anyone who moved her heart more than Kaito. She chose not to compromise, even if it meant remaining single. Her aunt once asked her, "Are you truly alright living your entire life like this?" She replied, on this day, a boy came to the supermarket to steal food and was caught by the manager. The staff advocated for letting him go, as the boy was clearly starving. But the manager insisted on calling the police. To help the boy, Minako suggested turning him over to Mr. Takanashi, Kaito. Kaito soon arrived, paid for the boy's items, and prepared to take him home. Before leaving, Kaito and Minako exchanged a glance and a nod, marking a rare instance of communication between them. That evening, Minako read a romance novel, her thoughts inevitably drifting. She decided to write a letter to the town's radio station to confide her feelings. She initially intended to write, "I wish he knew my feelings," but after much deliberation, she changed it to, "He must never know my feelings." That day, Minako found a note in a milk bottle, left by Eiko, saying she wanted to meet. She ignored it. However, the next day she received another one, its tone quite anxious. Reluctantly, she decided to go see. Upon arriving, Eiko spoke plainly, expressing her wish that Minako and Kaito be together after her passing. It turned out that Eiko had recently learned Minako and Kaito were classmates. Although Kaito was reluctant to say much, her sixth sense told her they shared a past. Now, seeing that her time was limited, and feeling she had held back Kaito for too long, she wanted to bring the 2 of them together. Unexpectedly, Minako did not appreciate it. Instead, she became angry. Firstly, having her deeply hidden feelings of many years seen through so easily made her somewhat indignant and embarrassed. Secondly, to be with a husband only after his wife's death? This felt as though she was waiting for an opportunity or plotting something improper, which was nothing short of an insult. Meanwhile, Kaito led a team to assist the boy. They entered his home and found it in utter disarray, filled with a foul odor. Due to the parents' lack of guardianship, they would legally take the child into custody, to be cared for by a welfare institution. Upon hearing this notice, the parents showed little reaction. The mother was even too lazy to get out of bed. Seeing the situation, Kaito could no longer restrain himself. He directly pulled the woman up and angrily reprimanded her for her irresponsibility. He only stopped when the boy suddenly embraced his leg. Back in the car, Kaito wept. It turned out that he had harbored hatred for his father ever since his father betrayed their family. However, seeing the boy's defense of his mother, he admitted that he also greatly missed his father. Upon returning home, Yoko informed him that she had met with Minako. Kaito was somewhat surprised and asked why she had come. Yoko stated frankly, "I hope you two can be together."
ずっとおばさんのこと思ってきたでしょ?
何言ってるんだよ。
Kaito initially denied it outright, but unable to resist Yoko, he eventually admitted that he indeed had feelings for Minako. However, he declared that he would never seek out Minako, as he was determined to lead an ordinary life, and Minako would only hinder him. Yoko asked, "Why do you always suppress your emotions? Face her openly, and be with her. This is the only thing I can do." Kaito fell silent. As a mature and steady man, how could he be entangled by romantic sentiments? Yet, after changing the subject, he couldn't help but revert to ask a childish question.
男と女の関係が全てなのか?
そうよ。全てよ。
The next day, while riding the bus, Kaito tried looking out the window and indeed spotted Minako cycling. This time, their gazes did not avoid each other. Afterwards, Kaito took leave from work and devoted himself entirely to spending his wife's final days with her. Before her passing, Yoko left a letter for Kaito and another for Minako. With her last strength, she encouraged them to bravely come together. The night she finished reading the letter, Minako suffered from insomnia. In the letter, Yoko had entrusted her with Kaito's care, which made her feel that she should meet Kaito, if only for Yoko's sake. The next day, Minako, uncharacteristically, put on makeup. Looking at herself in the mirror, she felt like she had returned to her youth, but she removed it because she was unaccustomed to it. Thus, she arrived at Kaito's home. Kaito was not surprised, and she, like a friend, naturally extended an invitation.
ちょっと付き合ってよ。
They arrived at the place where their parents had passed away, and there they discussed their embarrassing past. Their parents' actions had burdened them for years, but now they found release.
あの時は裏がどうであろうと私たちには関係ないと思ってたの。
After reconciling with their parents' past, the two naturally went for a walk. Minako asked Kaito why he had been avoiding her. Kaito explained that it had nothing to do with their parents, rather, it was because during a swimming lesson once, he had accidentally almost drowned, and Minako had stood by, laughing at him. Minako felt a tinge of regret upon hearing this explanation, asserting that she had not laughed. Kaito, however, contradicted her, stating, "I did not laugh, yet you did." At this, Minako's anger flared. "Indeed, after painstakingly mustering all my courage to face you, you engage in frivolous talk and seek to argue. Was my sentiment, then, merely a delusion?" Minako declared this defiantly. "My reason for seeking you out is an agreement I made with Eiko."
もう私のことなんか好きにしてよ。死ねって言うなら死にます。この町を出て行けって言うんだったら出て行きます。
いいよ。やめろよ。
Her anger soon gave way to sorrow. She reminded Kaito to consume more milk, then prepared for her departure. As Minako made to leave, Kaito, a man perpetually burdened by apprehension, at last resolved to take a decisive step.
ずっと思ってきたこと。したい。
全部して。
Upon arriving at Minako's home, they embraced passionately the moment they crossed the threshold. They proceeded to the bedroom, where they fumbled with a youthful, almost clumsy, eagerness. Tears welled in both their eyes. Decades of quiet endurance and self-restraint culminated in this moment, where their love cascaded like rain. The following morning, Kaito awoke to find a note from Minako, indicating she had departed to deliver milk. Rising, he observed the room filled to capacity with books, and was struck by a profound realization. Thus, he understood how she had spent all these solitary years. A short while later, Kaito too departed for his work. He noticed the boy attempting to cross the river and rushed swiftly to his aid. Meanwhile, having completed her milk deliveries, Minako unexpectedly learned of a drowning incident and resolved to investigate. Initially, she walked, but as she proceeded, a sense of foreboding prompted her to quicken her pace into a run. Upon reaching the scene, she witnessed the retrieval of the drowning victim, who was, to her shock, Kaito. He had rescued the drowning boy, but tragically, succumbed himself. Peculiarly, a smile still graced his features. The meaning of this smile remained unknown to all. Perhaps it conveyed a message: Mr. Minako, please do not grieve. While regrettable, it was, nonetheless, sufficient. The following dawn, Minako continued her milk deliveries. The aunt who received the milk observed her composure to be as serene as ever. When asked about her future intentions, she paused, then stated with earnest resolve, to read.